So what I'm going to do is I've got lots of photos, and I've got, is Colin here from down the back? Yeah, Colin gave me some good photos of some examples of how you can manage dust. And I just think one thing I do say this quite a lot. We go onto sites sometimes and people have got so much protective equipment on that they can barely move. So instead of doing a risk assessment, as Michelle's talked about, people think, oh, well, I'll just put everything on them. So I'll put grade 5 hearing protection on, and then it's a bit dusty. Oh, I know, I'll put a half-face respirator on them. So they've got that on, they've got the hearing protection. Oh shit, they need a hard hat. There's no overhead hazards, but they've got to have a hard hat. Sound familiar? Yep. And oh, I know, let's put a high vis on them. We're on a residential site, but let's put a high vis on. So this poor bugger has got hearing protection on, a mask on, he's got high vis on and a hat, hard hat. It's 30 degrees. He's got to have his safety shoes on too. Oh, and some bright spark will tell him to wear longs, no shorts. Sounding familiar? That's why you do a risk assessment. So you stop that nonsense going on. And we laugh, but it goes on, doesn't it? When we see it all the time. People have got so much stuff on, they can barely move. And it's ridiculous. So it's about, don't just go slapping PPE on everyone. It's your last option. Look at what the risk is. Is there anything overhead? Is it dusty? How noisy is it? And we know we need to wear our safety shoes on construction sites. I mean, that's not rocket science. But do we need our hard hat and our hearing protection and our high vis? Do we need all that stuff? Christchurch is like high vis city. I have to ride my bike and I wear a bloody high vis. I can't wear a hard hat because I've got my bike helmet on. Okay, this is the company who gave me a couple of photos here. So he's cutting concrete panels and he's got extraction on it, okay? Not hard. Who does that? Who's got extraction on their tools? Brilliant. I love you. This one is the vacuum cleaner. You can play spot the hazard on this one, can't we, Rob? Rob wouldn't get up here with me. He said, I'm not getting up there with you. I don't trust you. So we said, okay, let's play spot the hazard. So access egress is blocked by scaffolding. This is the typical site, isn't it? Cords everywhere. But what I wanted to show you was the vacuum cleaner primarily. But this is a fairly typical construction site, crap everywhere. Tidy it up, guys. I know that's not health, but when you fall and splat on your face, you don't feel that great. So tidy up your sites. This is another one where he's grinding concrete. Again, he's got extraction on. He could grinding or polishing. We weren't quite sure there. Quite simple. Who's got vacuum cleaners? Yep. And talk to the guys out there. They'll talk you through some of this stuff too. If you want to know how it works and what's available, go and find out. Ignorance is not acceptable, unfortunately. This one is a planer. This is what I want you to look at there. Again, on his planer, he's got, can you hear me? I've got a voice like a fishwife anyway. He's got extraction on that again. Once again, spot the hazard. Cords everywhere, drive you nuts. There's another typical construction site. That's your vacuum cleaner there. Okay, you get it. You don't get the one you use at home. I know that sound. I mean, I sort of think that's so bloody obvious. But I bet some bright sparks in here do. Get the one from home, and while the missus isn't looking, and then whip it down to the construction site. Do a quick vacuum up, empty the bag, whip it back in the cupboard. She'll never notice. Well, she bloody will when there's silica dust blowing around the house. So not a good idea. You get a commercial one which has a HEPA filter, okay? It's specifically designed for this. Don't use the one at home. You'll expose all your kids to all the crap. Okay, again, that looks like a bomb site. Anyway, I don't know where that one came from. What else have I got? There's another one. That's that planer. Da-da-da. Quite simple. Not expensive. Are they expensive? Not too bad, are they? Brilliant. That's really significant, isn't it? 20% more productivity, people. That's really good. Thank you. I might get you to be a speaker next time, Dale. This is some using water And so he's got water coming in through here and wetting down when he's cutting the concrete. So that's a really efficient way of doing it, using water, and I'll show you some other examples soon. So water and on-tool extraction for dust are pretty much standard things that we expect to see on site. Now that doesn't mean some bright spark walks around with a water bottle squirting water, because I've seen that. And it's not the water bottles we give out for fatigue either. But they go around and they just have a water bottle and they give it a squirt. Well, they have a fag usually. Squirt, squirt, someone cuts, squirt, squirt. That's not water suppression, okay? It's continuous water supply, which is what this is. Oops, I flicked through. So more extraction there. This guy wasn't sure how effective this was being, so he was double protecting himself with a respirator. You may need to do that in some instances. This one's linear board, that's got silica in it. Again, a bit dusty despite the extraction. So one of the things you need to make sure is that your extraction is actually working. And we do see, clean it. We do see a lot of extraction systems that there's still a lot of dust, and when you actually have a good look at it, it needs cleaning. Quite simple, okay? So just clean it and maintain it, really important. And you get more productivity, and your tools last longer. What else have I got? So this is the fogging system. Colin, am I right? Cool, good. So I think this is pretty cool actually. So it's quite straightforward. So this is the fogging system that sprays the water out. I mean, this isn't a construction site, but the same principles apply to a lot of dust. So I'll show you some photos. And it dampens down all this dust. Brilliant. Quite simple and effective. This one here is up in the ceiling, and it's just spraying water down. Quite simple. And there it is again. Quite cool, eh? And quite simple. There's some great systems out there. And some of the people out there can talk you through some of those and how you can get hold of them. Well, have a look at them. Try them in your workplace. Again, water coming down, keeping all the dust. Obviously a rubbish tip. Not a construction site. Well, it could have been in Christchurch, couldn't it, a few years ago. Water coming down again through here. Keep the dust down in here. Fertiliser plant by the look of it. That's the fogging system. Great. I like it. There it is again. This is it here. Spraying water out. And this is quite cool, on the back of a ute. So quite simple systems, and really effective for managing dust. Another one there. See it coming out through there, managed keeping all the dirt down. And again, whoop, quite like that. So see the water coming out? Again. There it is again, the smaller one, blowing water out. Same there. Here. Okay. So we just want to give you an idea that some of the controls that are out there. Do ask, I don't know how often you guys talk to each other. I don't know if you do, to be honest. But, this guy at the front here, they've done some work in that area. And I know a lot of others of you have done some good work as well. So do talk to each other and just share what you're doing out there, because we do expect the dust to be managed. We expect water suppression systems and or extraction ventilation systems. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about when I talk about those, come and talk to us at the end of this. Go and see some of the suppliers out there.